Question. When a person ends up throwing away food, are they really saving money? Let's talk about this. Back in a minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, this is Jan from New York. I love helping people keep some more of their own hard earned money. Welcome to the channel, Save Money and More with Jan. And I am Jan. Nice to talk to you on this Friday. I know everybody loves Friday, or a lot of people do anyway. I love every day, but Fridays are really, really fun. Glad that everybody is doing well, and that is my sincere hope. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you today about when one is forced to discard food. You know that in general, in life, I despise food waste. I really, really do. There's so many people and situations out there where people are really, truly crying from hunger pangs. No joke, right under our nose. You don't have to go far away. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. So the last thing I want to ever hear about is, discarding or wasting food. I'm just not a fan of food waste, but sometimes situations happen of which have no choice. Not safe to eat that item. Now, today is Stockpile Friday, and we're having a little chat. I want to reminisce about a situation that happened about, I don't know, a year or two back. I might have the video still, and I'm not sure as I record this, but if it is available, I will hook it up in the description below. And you know what's interesting? It involved a product that I use all my life and never, ever, ever had a problem with this national product. Let's just say we like to get things done in a jiffy whenever we want to make some muffins. Okay. Just saying, just saying. Does that throw you a little bit of a hint there? I'm sure you figured it out by now. What happened was, a gazillion times my whole life I made those corn muffins with that product. Never, ever, ever had a problem. And I mean never. So I had a few boxes in my stockpile, and it was a chilly morning. I says, oh, what would be nicer than to have with a cup of tea or coffee than, some nice, fresh corn muffin? One, two, three, so easy, made in a jiffy. Well, I took it out. I took the bag out of the box as usual, like always, poured it into my mixing bowl, right? The easiest, peasiest way to make muffins in a snap hurry, I'm telling you. And it is an old faithful product. But when I looked down, something did not look right. Things were like I said, it's in my eyes. I know it's early in the morning, and I know I didn't quite have enough cup of joe yet. But when I looked down, I'm like, what am I looking at? Little objects were moving. I said, this can't be possible. So I looked at the date to see the expiration date because I'm very, very excellent, monitoring that. And I was way ahead of the expiration date. It even had months to go before it needed to expire. So I'm like, wait a minute. No, it turned bad and somehow cereal bugs developed in there. So I learned from some great, great people that it is a really, really good idea and a really, really good practice to put in the freezer. Am I correct? Freezer or refrigerator? I put it in the freezer for a couple of hours. Okay. That's what I've been doing. And of course, there goes the bird clock. Should I just let it roll? Hang on. Gee whiz. That clock, I think it's here to haunt me. I'm just saying. So I do whenever I get them. I don't buy them as often now because I think I was a little mentally traumatized by that event. But the sad part is I love that product, okay? But I want to tell you something else while I have your ear for a minute. Sometimes you're just better off making it from scratch because it's just as simple. Using your cornmeal and following the directions on that big old box that gives you the instructions on how to make corn muffins from scratch. And they are delish. But getting back to that product that does things in a jiffy that I never had a problem with in my life. Will I stop buying that product the rest of my life? No, 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 no. I would just deal with it differently and put it in the freezer. I have to look it up how long I should leave it in the freezer. How many people put their products like that, cake mix boxes and things of that nature, in the freezer or refrigerator? Is it freezer or refrigerator? Can you clarify that for me? Because I know you guys are really the experts out there. Let me know in the comments section below. There's another product. Here's another thing too. We tend to think that certain things last forever. Well, not really. Not everything lasts forever. To everything, there's an expiration date. And yes, sometimes you can go past the expiration date. I'm not saying that you can't. More times, yes than no. Especially with canned goods. That's a whole other ball game. That's a whole other show. But I did also have a questionable problem with, believe it or not, it was like one of those cup of noodle type product. It just didn't look like the color was right. But then when I opened it up and I turned it upside down and I saw some funny discoloration, again I checked the expiration date. That one was past its prime. So sometimes we leave certain products like they're in the background, like part of everything, like, oh, like it's just going to live in your stockpile forever. This is why it is important to actually use some of the stuff. Use the stuff that you buy. Stockpiling is a living, breathing thing. I'm not saying that there aren't things that you're going to keep for long, long term. And what if the big day comes? You know where I'm going with that. And these days, who knows about anything? People could lose their power during any time of the year, not just designated for the summer when there are those, weather events that might cause power outages. Actually, a power outage can be had any day of the year, any season of the year, for any great length of time of the year. A lot of us got used to, we have a little power outage for about 3 hours and then we expect it to come on. That is precisely my mentality the first day of the power outage back about 10 years ago or so, when we had the effects of the superstorm Sandy. And I even mentioned this several times. We thought it would just last a couple of hours and that's that. Not true. Very not true. It went to about a week. So a week without power, and the first couple of days are novel, sort of like camping out with your friends, whatever. By day three, it's just not that much fun anymore. And especially at that point when there was seemingly no end in sight. But let's go back to the stockpile chat for a minute. Well, all of this is about being prepared. It is really important to keep on top of the inventory in your stockpile. I'm not saying memorize everything, but every once in a while, take a look at the things that should be rotated. Rotate the stuff that's needed to be rotated. Use the stuff that is the oldest. Put the oldest stuff up front. Put the newest stuff in the back. These are like sort of common sense tips for anybody. Trust me, I am no stockpiling expert. I know this, that even sometimes the most well intended person can run into a problem with stockpiling.